guys, I'm Renee.
I'm Martia.
And I'm Demetrius.
And we are Sip and Unwind. We're a true crime podcast, but we also discuss all things dealing with life, love, and relationships. So get comfy and join us on this journey and become a sipper. It's for all grown and sexy adults. And best of all, it's free. So become a sipper. We have sippers out there. Hey, sippers. But we would love some more. Hey, ladies, how are you guys doing?
Hey, ladies. Hey, sippers. I'm doing great. How are you?
Hey, ladies.
So I'm always happy, you know? And I like talking to you guys too.
Same here.
Yeah. Another True Crime Tuesday. Let's do it.
Yes. All right. All right. Are you guys ready for a new episode, sippers? So hopefully you have your drinks ready because we sure do. So our featured drink for tonight is Pinot Grigio. So I'm going to tell you, it's just wine. It's simple, crisp, and it's easy to find. It's on like every store.
Yes.
It's like you can pretty much find it everywhere. And it gives a kick from just one glass, but that just might be me because Martia, I don't know. How many glasses do you need? Because my girl likes that alcohol content a little higher. I think Pinot Grigio does it for you a little bit. Does it? What does it do for you, Martia?
One glass is enough for me.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. See,
yes.
I made the cut then. Good. I didn't want you to laugh at me. But, if you do get that second drink, that second glass is, it always puts you in a good time.
I'm going to get another one. I'm going to put a little orange juice in mine. I'm a fruity girl.
So
that
fancy.
Sounds good. Exactly.
Yeah.
You are always fancy over there.
Miss
Okay,
Bougie.
yeah, that's been like, that was my, drink of choice from back in the day.
Yes.
I still like it. It's still kind of like my go-to. So if you are one of the few that are not familiar with that wine, head over to our Instagram and our Facebook page, and we have a picture of it. And I'll post a picture of the wine that I'm actually drinking tonight. The one that I like the best, because there's many brands out there. All right. So are you guys ready to get into this true crime of the week? Who's ready? Are you ready?
Yes,
Let me put my seatbelt on and get ready for this ride.
Child.
Oh my goodness. I think
well, you know me, I always got a notepad ready and my pen. Hold on, let me flip to because I have to take notes.
Yeah, and I hear you flipping through your papers over there. That's
right. She really does.
Because y'all be coming with some bangers. I'll be like, who is that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, so let's start in July of 1982. So I'm taking you guys back a little bit. So there were some kids that were playing and they saw a body floating in Seattle's Green River. After some investigation, it was later determined that it was the body of 16-year-old Wendy Caulfield, who was strangled. Over the following weeks, 4 more bodies were discovered along the Green River's banks. All women, all strangled. On August 15th, 3 more bodies were found, and Detective David Reichert was one of the first authorities to arrive at the scene. So they found 31-year-old Marcy Chapman, 17-year-old Cynthia Hines, and 16-year-old Opal Mills. So with a total of 4 bodies found within a month's time, the Kings County Sheriff's Office set up the Green River Task Force to investigate the killings, dubbing the killer the Green River Killer, since the bodies were found along the Green River in Seattle, Washington. Soon after the task force was formed, the body count rose, with more victims being discovered along the river and in areas around the SeaTac International Airport. Over the next 2 years, the Green River Killer sexually assaulted and murdered more than 40 women.
What? Wait, pause. In 2 years?
Yes.
How many?
More than
40 women.
That's sick.
Found along the Green River.
You evil. Oh my God.
Man, that's crazy.
Right? Yeah. Can you imagine that many women?
No.
2 years. So on April 30th, 1983, a prostitute named Marie Malvar, she was 18 years old. She was last seen by her boyfriend getting into a paint-chipped pickup with a dark-haired man about 30 to 40 years old. Her boyfriend followed them to a motel parking lot, and then they left out again. He lost them at a traffic light when the John turned the corner. And I'm saying John as in, the man who picked up the prostitute, quote unquote, John, turned the corner on 216th Street. Due to the line of business that Marie was doing, prostitution, her boyfriend waited 3 days to report her missing. So he was kind of like the lookout for her and, following the Johns to make sure that she was okay. But he kind of lost them at the light when they went to a second location. So he said he last seen her getting into that pickup truck with that dark-haired man. So led by Marie's father, the prostitute's father, and some of the men of her family, they began scouring the neighborhood looking for her. They spotted the truck. They actually saw the truck. It was a maroon pickup parked in front of a home 1 block off of 216th, the street that that the boyfriend lost them on. So they later found out that the John, quote unquote, the John's name was Gary Ridgway, who lived at that address. So they had the address. It was 1983. But, 4 days later, police, they went to the police with that as well. So they tried to tell the police this is where this truck is that I found, that she was in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they went to the police and let them know of the address and everything. So 4 days after that, the police questioned. 4 days later, police questioned Gary Ridgway at his home about this, his knowledge of Marie, whom he, of course, denied knowing. And, he didn't know anything about her. So he denied everything. And then he later on that year in November of 1983, police once again spoke to Gary again about the murders. But he denied knowing any of the victims, and authorities lacked evidence to connect him to any of the crimes.
And staring right at his behind.
Mm-hmm.
God.
I can't believe that. Wow.
I hate that. I hate that everyone say, just put the handcuffs on him. Okay, I'm sorry.
They didn't have enough. Yeah. That's
yes. Just get them. You know you got them.
Mm-hmm. But you can't do anything about it because it's just like, what do you do? Gary came to the police. He came into the police sites again in February of 1984 when a prostitute named Dawn White reported him after she became uneasy about the way he approached her for sex on Pacific Highway. Ridgway was interviewed, given a polygraph, and then he was cleared after taking that polygraph test. So that means he's a psychopath or a sociopath. I don't know the difference between either one. Martia, maybe you can help me. But
so he cleared
the polygraph test that the police gave him about that.
How do you pass that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So later that year, Rebecca Guy, another prostitute, came forward to the police with the lurid tale of how Ridgway nearly strangled her back in 1982. After taking her into the woods and partly undressing her, he tried to strangle her, but she was able to get away. So Ridgway admitted being with that lady, Rebecca Guy, but then he admitted that she bit him, but he denied choking her or anything happened like that. And he was just saying it was just a prostitute, it was just one of those exchanges. And then, so again, still not enough information to book him on anything. So they let him go. So he's still free to go out there and do what he was doing. So now, sippers, get this. This is a twist that I had never heard of before. But so let's cut to 1986. So this is a few years later. He's still out there. 1986, the police still had, not having any kind of reliable leads or anything in the Green River killer case. Now, if you guys can just sit back and look at this picture, just picture this in your head. The police are sitting around, doing police shit. And the Green River Task Force gets something interesting in the mail. So guess who it's from, y'all? Okay.
Don't tell me it's from Gary.
You'll never get it. It's none other than convicted serial killer Ted Bundy reaching out. Yes, he reached out to them. He wrote them a letter about the case that he saw in the press. So this is after Ted's been, condemned to death, and he was, for his crimes against the women that he killed and all that he did to them.
Yeah.
He was in jail at the time. So Ted Bundy wrote to lead detective David Reichert, offering his help in the case.
Stop it. I have never heard of that.
Right.
Wow.
And I thought you were going to say that the killer himself wrote. That's what I'm like.
That's really what happens, right?
Wow.
But no, so the detective flew to Florida where Bundy was being held, on death row. So during the discussion, Bundy, and they actually took him seriously enough to talk to him to say, I guess, he's a killer. He's a serial killer too. So I guess he knows. I don't know. But they flew all the way to Florida to talk to Ted Bundy. So during those discussions, Ted Bundy reportedly advised authorities that the killer may be revisiting the victims' corpses and performing sexual acts on them, which is gross. And he suggested that detectives stake out a fresh burial sites and see if they can find them. And actually, this was a
What?
hypothesis that Gary Ridgway actually confirmed, that he was going back, revisiting the places that he had the corpses
Are
at.
you serious?
Yeah. So to give you a point of reference, in 1986, Ted Bundy was already in prison for 6 years at this point, and he was waiting to be put to death by the state of Florida. So crazy. Like, that's something that I never heard, of that part of, that Ted Bundy was actually offering help to police for other, I guess catching them.
Now, you cray.
Right. Like, he didn't know nothing about the case, like, like the real details. He's just giving his theory off, I guess, looking at what happened, the bodies that they found, and I guess what they do. Crazy. Yeah.
That is so bizarre to me.
It is a crazy twist. So in April of 1987, because Ridgway was the last person allegedly to be seen with 2 of the victims, police eventually searched his home and vehicles in connection with the murders. The evidence was all circumstantial, but it was enough for a local judge to approve a search warrant. With a search warrant, the police were able to go through Gary Ridgway's house looking for anything that would tie him to the murders. So under the warrant, they were able to take hair clippings from him, and they also had him chew on a piece of gauze to take a sample of his saliva. So, and that will later tie him to the crime. But due to insufficient, DNA testing back in 1987, Ridgway remained free after that for more than a decade because, 1987, they didn't have the DNA testing to do anything at that time. But good thing that they did have him chew on that and just held it, I guess, for, until testing got better. Let's fast forward to 2001. With new techniques in forensic testing at their disposal, investigators re-examined evidence from across the years that the killer has been active. They had DNA from 3 victims, and the new DNA profiles from the 3 victims were compared with Gary Ridgway's DNA. And thanks to the saliva, they had a sample of, was it 1987? It was a match in all 3 of the cases. So they finally got him. So on November 30th, 2001, nearly 2 decades after the first murder, King County Sheriff Reichert announced that Gary Ridgway, at age 52, was arrested in connection with the Green River killer's early victims, Marcia Chapman, Opal Mills, Cynthia Hines, and then we have Carol Ann Christensen, whose bodies were discovered in 1983. And this was in 2001 that they finally caught him. After the arrest, that's when they found out about Gary Ridgway and the things he did. He was a frequent customer of the prostitutes on the Strip, a section of Pacific Highway from South 139th Street to South 272nd Street that ran along the airport south of Seattle and it ran for about 8 miles. So the Strip was lined with bars, strip clubs, motels that booked rooms by the hour. So it was kind of like a known hotspot for prostitute and all kind of illegal stuff, sounds like a lovely place.
Right.
Yeah. So in the early 1980s, that area drew a steady stream of Alaskan oilmen, off-duty sailors, and local men in search of brief, quote unquote, dates. And the women would stand out there on the street waiting for customers. So it's kind of like a easy thing to do. So Gary often drove along this strip on his way to and from work. He would cruise slowly by single women and was in the habit of parking in a parking lot in Larry's Market on 144th Street or at the 7-Eleven on 142nd Street, where he could scan the street. To get a visual of the area, leading off the strip was a network of small streets. Many of its houses had been abandoned when the SeaTac Airport expanded its flight path directly overhead. So this place was, like where girls would turn their tricks at. So it was passing planes over, the muffled sounds of screams, and I guess all kind of illegal activity and stuff that was going on, because mostly it was deserted. It was just a deserted area. I guess they just let it go free, let the crime happen there, and they just didn't really do much about it. But that's just how it was. So let's go to Gary's early life. So Gary was born in Salt Lake City, Utah on February 18th, 1949. He has 2 brothers, Greg and Tom. And when they were young, their family moved frequently between frequently between Utah and Idaho, finally settling in Washington in 1958. Gary's father drove trucks when he could get, when he can get work, while his mother brought up the three boys in a 600 square foot house off of Pacific Highway near what would become that, the strip where he would get the victims. Gary had problems at school because he was dyslexic and was held back a year. He joined the Navy before he graduated from high school and was sent to Vietnam. He married 3 times and had a son from his second marriage, and his son was in the Marines. In the late 1970s, Gary became fanatical about his religion, according to his second wife. He would go from door to door preaching for a Pentecostal church and would be infuriated when people refused to listen to him. I mean, like, yeah, okay, as a church person and you're okay. That just doesn't make sense. And at home, he would sit in front of the television with a Bible open on his lap, and he often cried after attending church services. At the same time, Gary Ridgway was keenly interested in public sex and illegal sex. Gary's ex-wives and ex-girlfriends told police that he wanted sex several times a day, often outside in the nearby woods, and in some cases in areas where the Green River victims were discovered. So remember when Ted Bundy said that? He said that, the killer would be revisiting these victims' corpses and performing sexual acts on them.
Wow.
Well, it looks like he was close, so I'm not sure if he did that on them, but he went back to the place and performed sex with, his wives, his girlfriends and stuff, which is sickening, because I'm sure he probably did it right next to where a body was probably laying, and he knew it was there.
Oh, that's
and
disgusting.
It's just, yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, so let's jump to the court proceedings. In a plea bargain that would spare him the death penalty in return for his confession and information regarding the details of the murders, of the locations of the body, Gary entered a plea of almost 50 charges of aggravated first-degree murder. He said, "I killed so many women, I have a hard time keeping them straight." He admitted to killing most of these victims in his house or in his truck before disposing of their bodies, adding that in most cases, he didn't even know their names, and he can barely remember most of their faces or what they look like. So later on, after, I guess, this confession, later after he was convicted, he later confessed to murdering at least 71 teenage girls and women.
Oh, no.
Admitted that he lost count by killing so many people during his killing career, quote unquote, his killing career. But yeah, so he can think about 71. So it's probably more than that if he can't even keep them straight. And he had decades, like he was doing this for decades. It wasn't
Didn't
like,
you say it was, didn't we start in 1982?
82, 83. I
Oh,
think it was 83.
man.
Yeah. So he
Wow.
went along. He didn't get caught until 2001. So, and then the last body was found in 1987, I believe. So I don't think that he stopped in between that time. I think he might have picked up another spot, to place them or something, because I don't think that you can go killing that many people in that short amount of time and then you just stop.
like the case Lonnie Franklin,
Yeah, like you don't
Grim Sleeper,
stop. You just probably find something else because you think you're close to getting caught, so you might change it up a little bit, and now you're doing something else with them. But you don't go, like a whole decade and not doing anything, killing anybody. If you need to have sex a few times a day and doing all this other crazy stuff, it doesn't make sense. So he was explaining why he thought, why he chose those women, and he said because they were prostitutes, they were easy to pick up without being noticed, of course, and he knew that they wouldn't be reported soon right after he did anything to them. They're like invisible. You kind of
so you just straight calculated. You're just
yeah.
Wow.
You just because these women out on the street they don't have people that are looking for them every night. I mean, unless it's like a pimp or something like that. And what's the pimp? Is he going to really go to the police? No. Or you might have your fellow prostitute females out here looking out for you, how they do. Like somebody watches each other's back, but are they going to go to the police when they're prostitutes themselves? Probably not. So he did, he had a reason for why he did prostitutes. It was easy, and they're kind of like forgotten women, and you're not going to go as hard. searching for him if it's a prostitute versus a,
Yeah, you're right.
And just a woman with, say, I guess, family and stature or whatever,
Right.
So, yeah. So for his crimes, the King County Superior Court judge sentenced him to 48 life sentences to be served consecutively with no possibility of parole. Unfortunately, they're not putting him to death because he took that plea, but, and part of his confession in 2003, Gary told the investigators he stood against a fence during one of his original 1983 questionings when they questioned, remember when the prostitute and her boyfriend was looking out for her and he didn't find her and he went to the police. And when the police questioned him like 4 days later or something like that, he said that he was up against the fence. He was leaning up against the fence to hide scratches that she had left on his arm while trying to escape. So he was talking to the police with scratches all over his arms, but they didn't see it.
And they didn't even notice.
Yeah, because he was leaning up against the fence. And then he later said that after, the police left, he burned the scratches with battery acid to disguise them once the detective, left, just in case if they come back. I mean, like, that's extreme. That you put battery acid on you to burn, like the scratches go away eventually. Exactly. But I guess you have to, you don't know when the police will be coming back.
How sick he is.
Wow. Yeah. So today, little is publicly known about Gary Ridgway, who was incarcerated at Washington State Penitentiary in Walla Walla, Washington, and he declines all media requests, and he's about 73 now. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So let him stay where he's at.
Yeah. That is horrible. He is. Oh, that's evil.
Hopefully he's near the end, I guess. I mean, I don't know, but it just sucks that he gets to get his life is spared.
Yeah.
When he killed so
73, you still got your right mind. Most people in their 70s. So,
and I wonder why he's declining all media requests, because it seems like, I mean, since he's called, how they like to still talk or like to still get some shine or some kind of notoriety or something with that.
Right.
And he's not. So
that is very odd. That's odd.
Yeah. So, but that's the end of Gary Ridgway, and hopefully he doesn't have that much time left in prison, and he can go on to other things. I don't want to say anything bad or even get worse, but I mean, I'm just like, okay, dude, it's about time, especially because you got off easy because you did so much. But
I mean, that's a lot of women deceased, though. I mean, like his family didn't notice. Hey, I'm gone. He's gone. I don't know.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like, man, how did you get? And he was married.
Yeah, like how did you find time? Like
he killed these women in his house. He said someone was in his house or in his truck. So you would think that,
unbelievable.
I was just about to say blood.
Away with a lot.
He said he was strangling them, so I guess they didn't leave any blood. But I mean, when did you bring these prostitutes to your house, and when was your wife at home? Like,
exactly. Unless she knew, and maybe she was scared or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know that she divorced him. I think they said divorced him in 2002 or 2003. After he got convicted or caught.
Wow.
Because they had no. It's just that's sickening. But yeah, you guys ready to close the books on that one?
Yes.
I feel like I need to take a shower.
Yeah, that's just
right. It's just like, ugh. But yeah, so there's that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch over and go on to a lighter note. Let's go over to our messy wind down segment.
Oh,
we get all messy and talk about good old hot topics and gossip and stuff. What's going on in the internets. So this is something by Natasha Decker. This is an article on Madame Noir that I got. Not sure if you guys heard this. Or have you guys heard of T.K. Kirkland, the comedian?
No, I haven't.
You ever heard of him before? He's been around for a long time, but he's not.
I may have seen him, but I haven't heard his name. No.
Okay. Yeah, because he's not like popping, but he's, he has a little following. But yeah, he's been around for at least 20 years or so on the circuit and stuff. But anyway, so T.K. Kirkland believes that men don't deserve to have sex if they ain't got 25,000. I put that in quotes. Ain't got 25,000 in the bank. So T.K. Kirkland spoke on a lot of hot topics during his most recent interview on The Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club, which is on the radio. How do we explain it? For people who don't know the Breakfast Club, it is a New York morning show on 105.1, I believe is the station. And you can get it on YouTube. They do their episodes, or not their episodes, but their morning shows are on YouTube as well. If you guys want to look for it, for those who are unsure or haven't heard of the Breakfast Club. But so in a clip that was swirling on the internet, the entertainer shared his opinion on men that shouldn't be pursuing sex without having a hefty amount of money in the bank first. So he says, sex and love is for men who have accomplished something. So if you ain't got 25,000 in your bank account right now, you don't even deserve to have sex. You don't deserve to walk up to a woman and destroy her life. As he was explaining, he says, a man has to have ample expendable income. He can't take a woman out for a nice time and seduce her, if he don't have any money. So he said,
okay, so you need a little bit of stature, a little status.
Yeah. So he's saying, don't think that she's obligated to have sex with you because because she's going out with you, because women like to have a nice time. So if the atmosphere is right, if the car is smelling good, if you got the right music going on, you're treating her like a lady, you'd be surprised what can happen. So men that don't take time to invest in themselves, it's just a wrap. You shouldn't do it. If you don't have $25,000 in the bank, don't approach a woman. So don't try to get into women's panties without having the means or desire to court her first. So my question is having money stacked up in the bank account, in a man's bank account, something that you guys need before getting involved with them?
I mean, since I'm not out here dating, I can't give a firsthand account, right?
Look at here, you're not gonna have $10 though in your account.
But I think it's plenty of women out here that don't care about men having money. There's a lot of talk about women who do care about men having money, but it's a lot of broke men out here having a good time with these women too. And it's a lot of men that probably don't even have $10,000 in the bank out here having a good time with women, let alone 25K.
I'm going to say if the relationship is getting serious, then that's something totally different. But just dating, I'm not looking for your financial status on that one.
And who's talking about finances on the first date anyway? So I don't even think the woman can get to the bottom of that. Like, he don't have 25,000. I'm not talking to him.
Right.
So, I mean, but he says they don't deserve to have sex. I guess that's my thing. So they don't deserve to have sex if they don't have 25,000 in the bank.
I don't think you're gonna apply money to sex and love.
That just seems weird.
I would like to know how he correlated that all is.
Me too.
I'm not gonna lay down with you unless you got 25,000. Yeah. Let me see.
Maybe
what
a female told him that when he was broke or something, and he's still feeling some type of way about that years later.
Right.
I'm sure he was screwing before he had 25,000 in the bank.
Exactly.
Unless he was screwing after he was like, 25, 30. I'm not sure how old he was before he got like a little bit of stackable money. But I mean, like when you trying to make it, I mean, I don't know. That just seems, I mean, I don't know. For me, that just don't. I mean, as long as you got a job, like,
it's some sisters out here serving it with no job, but I'm just saying, I'm not going to check to see if you got 25 grand.
But the older you get, not the lower your standards are, but the more shit slide. You be like, man, at least if he got a job, because before you be like, I don't want him to have no kids. Well, as long as there's not too many kids, then you be like, because like in time, you go through shit in life. So you can't be like, how when you're young, you're like, I want a man who ain't got no kids. And then after you get older, you be like, well,
girl, your standards start getting lower and lower, right?
I don't even know if his standards getting lower, but you're kind of bit more acceptable because people live. Like, I mean, you can't be like 40, 50 years old and be like, you don't have no baggage, you don't have nothing.
Right.
So you're gonna have like a couple of ex-wives, or at least an ex-wife and kids, and maybe a bankruptcy. Hopefully not. But I'm just saying, like shit happens.
I gotta find some like posts or comments because I have never thought about you gotta have money in your account for me to play.
I think men think that more than it really is. Like they really be thinking that women really are, gold diggers like that and just want you for your money. I'm just like, do you know how many broke people out here be getting it?
Okay.
On the regular, having kids and all that.
Got them messed up. Yep. I know somebody just a couple years ago that was with somebody that was making minimum wage, and he was older than her, but she didn't mind being the breadwinner.
Say that again.
Her husband was making minimum wage. She made more than him, and she was okay with that. She just wanted him to have a job, like how you just said, as long as he's working.
And that was now?
That was probably less than 5 years ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it a friend that's like your age?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was a few years older than her. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So everybody, like you said, when you get older, I guess you just kind of.
I'm trying to think about that in my head. I'm just like, ooh, can I do that? Ooh, minimum wage.
Okay, then wait a minute. Now, how you gonna say that?
And she probably didn't really, she didn't really care what he did. The thing is,
you know what? And I'm thinking about that. Like, that probably really isn't really a big deal either, as long as you're able to pay your bills and stuff. But the problem, I think, because I have this discussion all the time with my boyfriend. This is like, because he thinks that too. Like, women want you to have this amount of money, or they're gonna, gold digger, blah blah. And I'm like, no, it ain't like that. He's just like, well, what's the minimum that somebody will have to, have in order to date you? Like, you have like a number, and like he's thinking that women are just like, oh, he needs to have 6 figures to be. It's like that's like a meme or something like that. Like, I don't think.
And there are some women out there like that, but all
that's
women
not the
do
norm.
Not think like that. Yeah,
right,
exactly.
It's not the norm. Mm-hmm. So I gave him a number. He was just like, really? And I was like, yeah. Like, I was like, I work. I have like, I'm not hurting, like if I spend $20 on something, like I'm not, pressed for every dollar. So it's not like I'm, needing to have somebody to take care of me like that. But you got to be able to come with something to the table.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
But the problem with, I was saying what the problem with that is, with a man making, say, minimum wage, and not talking about your friend, Marty, I'm just saying, just in general, like if a man is making minimum wage and I'm making, I don't know, like say $100,000, it's going to be an issue if the man, because the one who makes the most money has to say, I'm sorry, that's just how it is
in the house. Yeah.
And then so men usually can't take that because they want to be but you can't do that, bro. When you making, like,
they want to be the main breadwinner.
I would want you to leave me, but I don't have to ask you to buy something when I have a job and I can, you know what I'm saying? So It's like that kind of a shift where you're going to have to know that you can still be the man, but I'm not asking you to buy, like if I want to buy a car, like I don't want to be like, well, can I get this car? Like that just seems funny when it's just like, I have a job and I'm paying it. It's not like I'm asking you to buy me the car, so I don't know. It's just,
I don't know, but if you want to buy me my car, thank you.
Yeah, that'd be good. But if you can't,
you know what I'm saying?
Shut up about it.
Well, I'm a feel opposite about that, because I mean, if you're gonna be the man in a relationship, I'd kind of like demand for you to, play your role.
So he got to make a certain amount.
You got to make more than me. So yeah, I'm gonna be opposite of y'all. I'm gonna be a little opposite.
That's cool. Oh, good. Because we need some different.
I didn't really give any input on it and I was about to say, like, I feel like as we get older, I think they should make some decent money at this age, because now we're moving into retirement soon. So I agree with Demetrius. Like,
I'm not gonna be taking care of you. My whole, golden years coming up or something. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say maybe he's right to some extent. I mean, that ain't something you look for on a first date. I mean, if the relationship is getting serious, you do want him to have something.
Yeah, I think they still deserve sex and love. Like, you can't say because you don't have this money in the bank, you don't deserve someone to love you. I know, right? You shouldn't be out having sex. But so the premise behind having some kind of money in your pocket, I just feel like he combined 2 separate issues together for no reason. I think those are 2 separate, 2 separate issues.
Yeah. So he might be a little hurt then.
Right. I think
I'm just a little hurt. Somebody said something to me. Let me bring this.
Somebody said that to him 20 years ago, and he's still holding on to it. If you ain't got at least 25,000 in the bank, then you don't need to have your broke stuff out. Somebody went off on him 20 years ago, and he still heard about it.
And he got his money, so he's like, "See, I got it now.
I got it." But then he flooding it every chance he get. Remember, you want me? I got it now.
So yeah, I think that he does need to have some money. I mean, a lot. So you wouldn't do the minimum wage then?
For
me, not at this age.
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I could do. I don't know. Because minimum wage, what is minimum wage
let
now?
me tell you, I'm going to answer for you. You couldn't do it. I'm going to answer
like
for you.
$10, $7, $7.25.
I don't know what it is, right? But I think whether you're going to put up with that or not depends on what you're looking for out of your man. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just want a companion, okay, then that's your companion. But if you want somebody that can, pay for a trip to Europe or something like that, it's probably not going to be the
it ain't going to be him paying for it.
Yeah. If you don't mind carrying the bill yourself, then you'll probably settle for that. But if those things bother you, then I mean, to me, that's the easy way to measure it.
That's right.
Are you looking for just somebody to be in the bed with you and hold your hand and be best friends with them? Or are you looking for somebody to go into this next phase of life with, traveling, retirement, things like that? So you got to have more than minimum wage.
I know. I'm trying to think. I might be able to do that, but then he won't be able to live with me though. Like you got to go home.
See, that's crazy.
Like I need you to go home. And, you know what I'm saying? Because Because then I'll be all resentful.
Is that because he's not paying the bills? Or
because then I'm thinking if I get into an argument with him, then he's sitting on my couch looking at cable.
So I take it there's no spend a night. No spend a night.
That's when you get into the pettiness and you just be like, man, cut this cable off for the daytime. So then I'll put it back on. Take that cord to the box so he can't plug it in.
Are you gonna let him borrow your car, or is it okay that he drives a 2001 Honda Accord? You okay with that too?
Ooh. See, I know. I already know this is not
right, because it's like if he's making minimum wage, he's probably gonna dress a certain way, drive a certain type of vehicle.
Oh gosh,
probably
that's so true.
So
we need a whole platform for that with this guy, because I need to explain some stuff.
I mean, she was over there thinking about it, so I'm
trying
going
to help her decide. I'm just like,
dang,
that is true though. Gosh.
Yeah. See, now it's starting to get detailed. Now she's like, wait a minute.
Because then you ain't gonna. I'm gonna have to be able to make. I'm gonna have to make all the not the rules, but make all the decisions. Because I mean, if you ain't making no money,
it's gonna be like
y'all go to Ruth's Chris. You're gonna have to pay the bill. The tab gonna be on you. You know how the woman comes to the table, she hands it to the man.
And you're
gonna be like, nah, get that to me, sis.
I know.
Or no, you're gonna give him your credit card before y'all go in the restaurant, so he don't be embarrassed. So he don't be embarrassed.
I know, right? Just slide it to him.
Like, you do it.
Here you go. Gosh,
he gonna be hold on, co-account holder.
Disclaimer: no offense to anyone making minimum wage. That's on you. That's great. True. That's grand. But let me tell you something. You're gonna have to have some cash to be with me. I'm sorry. Because I have expensive eating habits when I go out, because that's my treat to myself. That's like my treat.
Renee's boyfriend gonna be dropping her off at work and saying, "Can I?"
And taking the car, doing a Jody.
Jody. Oh no.
See, it was cool when you were like 20 something years old.
He gonna say, "Babe, can I get some money for lunch? I might stop."
Oh my gosh.
Can you give me some money?
See, you can't hit me with like, oh gosh, I couldn't give you money.
Now you really gotta think about it.
Now
what do you think you're gonna do with somebody making minimum wage?
I ain't even thinking about all that. I'm just like, because eventually you're gonna be like, I need some money, because I mean, your minimum wage ain't gonna cut
it. Baby, my apartments, they went up on the rent. Can you
not the apartment though? Oh my gosh,
you think you might have a house making minimum wage?
Oh gosh. Wow. I'm one of those then. So you gotta have a certain amount of money. You gotta have a certain amount of money.
That's okay. He coming over with his bags. Just gonna set him up in the dresser. Gonna get him some dressing, the dresser room. Like, these drawers are yours. The closet on that side is yours.
So I'm not okay. So I'm gonna take it back then. So I'm not gonna say that I'm one of them that say I need somebody to make 6 figures or above, or 200 plus or whatever that is. They need,
or millionaires.
That's just stupid. But I mean, decent.
Right,
okay, decent money. Which is,
Can you define decent money this day?
I'm gonna exit now.
No, I'm just curious. With gas being $4 a gallon,
I would say at least like 50.
What? Oh, okay.
What you saying? What's wrong? That's too low.
I guess if it's a 2-income household, because if the other person makes that amount or more, then it's a difference.
I'm just saying, you got something coming in. That's not like minimum wage money.
Yeah, they'll do good. They'll do good.
I mean, I would still have to be, you know, like. Oh no, Demetrius, what's yours?
I already.
What they gotta make?
Have some money.
What they gotta make? What's the minimum?
I don't know. I never thought about that before. I mean, you know, being married, it is what it is right now with us. But I don't know, ladies. It depends. It just depends on where you are mentally and physically with your relationship.
So if you were dating,
75, 80. I don't even know.
Okay, that'll work. That'll work.
80 minimum.
Yeah, minimal.
That'll work.
I'm trying not to sound so like a, you know, somebody who just thinking about money, but
I know that's kind of, you know,
important.
That's hard to put
50, but I'm just like, you probably do a little bit more than that, but you know.
But to have sex though, because his statement was in order to have sex.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty extreme.
You need to have, I think that's pushing the envelope. Yeah. Just to sleep with somebody, I don't know.
Yeah. Like I won't be like, what's in your, how much you have in there? You know, that's
right.
Exactly. Because like, what are people talking about on first dates if that's what you need to know?
Yeah.
So I can't relate to that. So.
And do you know how many lies come out until you actually get involved and you be like, oh, but you just told me you didn't stay with your mom, and then all this stuff start coming out. You told me that your cousin was in jail and it was really you in jail. Like it's just so I don't know how the money thing even comes up.
Dating is so hard out here, guys. Dating is so hard out here.
I don't miss that.
And that's
scene.
why people probably settle.
Okay.
Because they don't want to keep tossing them back.
No, you was like F it,
going
like
to find something else.
Right.
Okay, well let's poo-poo on your 25,000 TK, but you know we are kind of
where he was going
a little
with
bit
that.
where you do need a little bit of money.
Yeah, I don't know where he was going with that story.
All right, so I have one more story, and it's about money and relationships. So it's scamming in the name of love. Romance scams skyrocketed in 2020. Which I can kind of see, you know, everybody's home lonely from COVID. But so according to a recent report published by the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, thousands of people reported losing money to romance scams between 2016 and 2020. Scamming in the name of love reached an all-time high in 2020 following the pandemic, with people reportedly losing a whopping $304 million to online dating shams.
What?
Yeah, so the agency's data also revealed that many of the scams involve sending large sums of money to the strategic romance swindlers, like, you know, the classic money mule scam, where savvy internet thieves convince an individual to send large amounts of cash to them or to someone else. So a majority of the crooks preyed on their prospective sweeties' compassion by creating an elaborate story, you know, about the person needing some money and for them to transfer over funds. The scammers use all kinds of excuses, like, you know, helping out the family member to saying that they had, you know, COVID and they need help that way. So to tie into this story, did you guys see the Netflix Tinder Swindler?
I haven't seen it, but I've been hearing about it though.
Yes, I heard about it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so I won't spoil the whole thing, but it's basically about a 31-year-old Israeli con man. He used Tinder, you know, the Tinder dating app, to orchestrate a massive Ponzi scheme. He scammed an estimated total of $10 million from several women he dated on that platform.
Oh my God.
You guys need to look at the Tinder Swindler. It's good. Like, it's elaborate. And it's like, man, these people, and I can understand why these women sent the money, like, because how they did it, but it's, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Like, I don't know, like, and I'm going back and forth and be like,
is it a series or a show?
No, it's just a show. It's just a documentary.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay,
it's a one-time thing, but yeah, like, I mean, I can see, especially during COVID, when people were looking for relationships and, you know, stuck in the house and nobody's there, you need somebody to talk to or whatever, and you send money. But I can't even imagine losing, because on the Tinder, I keep saying Tinder, the Tinder Swindler, he got these women to, like, give him hundreds of thousands of dollars a person. You know, like he had these schemes where he would wine and dine them, take them on, you know, private jets, put them in these nice ass cars when they go on, you know, dates. And then so he says like something happens and then it makes them, you know, say, oh my gosh, you need money because of, you know, you got into an accident or something happened. I lost my card or something. Can you send me this because I need to get out of, you know, wherever. So, and I don't want to, you know, spoil the whole thing for, you know, how he does it, but
I'm mad people are sending him money.
And then they send him the money because they're expecting it back because the thing is he wines and dines and takes them on private jet. So you're like, oh, he's good for the money, you know, right?
No.
Like, and does it talk about how he got money for that? Like, is he recycling the money?
Yeah, he said that he is a diamond. His dad was a diamond. I can't remember what the word for it is, but he's like the diamond guy or whatever, a diamond heir or something like that for diamonds and something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's something with diamonds. But yeah, so you're thinking, oh, well, he's good for it. You know, he has money. He comes from money. You know, this $10,000, you can give it right back to me. And then it gets more and then more, you know, and then you're in a hole. So I don't know. You guys don't, and I don't want to call these women stupid because I mean, when you look at it, you can kind of see the buildup and how it happens. And then he's doing it to many people at a time.
Let me tell you, I'm not sending you thousands of dollars. I don't care if your dad.
But the thing is, he wouldn't date you then because he scopes you out for the people who are of you know, like are easier, malleable.
But I'm saying, why would you be that vulnerable or that naive to give somebody thousands of dollars? Okay, you just took me out and wine and dine me. Don't mean you didn't rent that vehicle that you drove. Don't mean that you didn't put that meal on a credit card and can't pay it. I'm not sending you nothing.
But I can see somebody looking at him and thinking, it's a private jet. He's got money. He's taking here, and that you may get the money back. Like I could see them thinking he's got the money or he has the means to make that money again and pay you back. Nah, I'm not saying that I would be one to give money like that.
Right.
But I could see how someone could be, oh, he was so nice. I'm going to give him the money, you know?
Yeah.
Because usually like, them type of men, they're charmers. Like that's how they win these women over. They look nice. I don't know what this guy looks
and they
like.
Tell them they love them nice and they miss them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
it kind of reminds me of a story that where the man was engaged to all these different women at the same time. And I forgot how the story blew up. But he was not on this level getting money from them women, but he was messing with the rich older women. But he was engaged to like several women at once. So these guys are charmers. Like you know, so yeah, I could definitely see how women would probably give their money up. But in this case, thinking, oh, he'll pay me back at some point.
Yeah, because it becomes like an emergency and I don't have access to my cards or I need this and I need to get out because of this, and I need it like tonight because something's going to happen to me. And, you know, like, and they have pictures and they send them stuff and they show them what's going on and, you know, and then they fall for it because, you know, they're like, oh, well, we're together and I love you. And, you know, you tell me you love me. Did you laugh at any
parts of this documentary? Because I feel like this might make me laugh, even though it's not supposed to be funny.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't think so.
As that
I don't remember.
Said, you need to grow up and get more mature or something she said about us. And that's never going to happen.
So, I mean, does he ever pay them back though?
Girl, he ain't got the money. No, that's all part of the thing. No, he just takes their money and he buys his, you know, expensive cars or his expensive clothes. And he does it to the next woman that sends him money. And then he, you know, buys the stuff and he moves on to the next one. So the next one sees, oh, he has all these clothes and this money and these cars, but he's getting it from the last couple of chicks that he just, and he moves on to the next one. And then he blocks you and then he doesn't.
Like an old movie made like that. I'm trying to, it just sounds.
It might.
I don't know. That just sounds like a story that, like, what are you doing?
But
these poor women. I'm sorry. Ladies, protect your finances. Don't fall for it, please. Don't.
I remember I lent somebody some money a while back, and I still am thinking about that to today. And I'm just like, he needs to give me money.
How much was it?
Girls, $50.
Oh.
You remember? I don't know if you remember.
Oh,
I don't want to say his name. Okay,
because
yep. I don't even know how old I was at the time. Maybe 21,
probably
21,
probably 19 to 20. So maybe you were a little bit older. Okay.
No, I don't know. I
think we were younger than that, but yeah.
Okay, well that helps me. It makes me feel a little better. But I think he had like a TV on layaway. I think that's what it was, and he needed $50 to get it out.
And I was going to say he was going to give it to me the next week.
Yeah,
really.
Sure, he ain't never giving me that money back, and I'm still thinking about that to this day. And I'm just like, man, and his car was everything to him. He had an old souped up toy. Oh, I don't want to say that, but he had a souped up car, and I was just like, man, if I see that car, I'm scratching it. I promise you, I was going to scratch it.
You were going to do more than $50 worth of damage?
Yes, I was going to you're going to pay that $50 somehow. If you don't give it to me, you're going to get it to get this car fixed. Because I was going to keep his car.
They had, because I thought it was a Honda, but you know better than I do.
It was something like that. But
I got one almost better than you. I was asked, if you don't mind, can I hold your card so I can get 2 tires on the front?
What?
Girl, and what them tires? Did he get tires or did he get something else?
He didn't get it from me. I was like, how did you fix your lips to say, let me get your credit card?
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me he did and then something happened.
Oh, no. Okay. I mean, very adamant too. Came, followed me, met me at my job. I was like, what you doing up here? I was just wondering if you still going to let me get. No, I'm not.
Like, hold your heart. Like, who do that? I don't get
where they do that at. How about I might need 2 new tires? Let me go check my car.
That's
dude,
funny.
You came out to my job. How do you even know where I work? Like, I was in total shock.
And now I'm just thinking, like, ew, what kind of dudes would sit there and ask people for money like that? Like, ew.
Right.
Bums.
You trash.
Bums. Yes, exactly.
Like, how do you fix your mouth to ask a girl for, can you give me some, can I hold your credit card so I can get some tires?
Yeah, I need 2 new tires.
Like, really?
First of all, you're not even my boo thing. I don't even understand why you're here. So it was just weird, that whole encounter. And then I was asked to be friends on Facebook. No, weirdo.
You crazy.
Sorry, I do hold grudges for years. I'm sorry, I'm very petty, but yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna befriend you.
Yeah,
it's just awkward.
Hell on.
How do you even know I got a credit card? Like, wait a minute. I'm sorry.
We women always got their shit together. That's what it is. That's probably
okay. I'll take that.
Basically, we usually are the ones that got it together. So
it was just weird. I want to get 2 new tires. Well, shoot, I want a whole mansion somewhere, but I ain't got it yet.
So in closing, I'm gonna tell y'all to look at the Tinder Swindler.
Swindler.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
It is actually really good. Like, just to see the scheme, and you're just thinking, dang, I can do this. Or maybe that was just me thinking.
I really hate to hear that
you're trying to be a scammer.
Yes, I'm just like, man, look how easy it is. Though I mean, like you can just, man.
I really hate to hear that, though. That's so sad.
I mean, a little bit, but I mean,
and then you'll never get your money back.
I know that's true. They
but if they had it to give, they probably had. I'm not trying to minimize their issue, but
they
give somebody.
They kind of did, because some of them did credit lines. So they
see what I'm saying?
That was a thing, they didn't have.
Oh no, that's terrible.
And they just took his word for it.
Like, opened up credit cards and lines of credit places to so they didn't have it basically.
See what I'm saying?
That's terrible.
But you guys, sippers, if you guys haven't watched it, and hopefully I didn't give away too much, and apologies if I did.
No, you can't, because I want to see what this sucker look like. You got to be a sucker.
Yeah, so you guys need to look at that. As I see a really good little documentary, and then I see that he just got scammed actually, because he was on Twitter, but he paid somebody $6,000 to get himself verified, and it was actually a scam, and they took his money. I saw that I think like yesterday when I was scrolling.
Wait, is that him?
Yes. Yeah.
I just saw that.
You saw that? Okay.
I kind of lightly skimmed over the title. And I was like, you paid somebody $6,000. And it was like, finally he gets swindled out of money. And I was like,
I think he's going to get a show, or he's trying to look to get a show, like a dating show or something. It's some kind of a show that he was trying to do. But I mean, he's like getting paid for not hotel, but for club appearances and stuff now, because, I guess he's a big thing.
No.
I mean, like, you want to see him now.
What?
Why do we glorify stuff like that? No
so
way.
Exactly. So did he get any jail time for that?
He did.
Oh, okay.
Not much. I mean, he's out now.
I mean, that wasn't long enough.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And people glorify situations. No.
Because I mean, you see him in the club, you're like, oh, that's the Tinder swindler.
And just think, in my mind, I'm thinking there's some woman going, I'll get him some money. Oh no,
I want to date him because of that. But they be like, I'm gonna be smart. I'm not gonna give him any of my money though, but I want to date him. Oh. So yeah. So
wow.
Yeah, look at that. Put a message in on our Facebook or our Instagram and let us know what you think about the Tinder swindler, if you watched it or if you're going to watch it. Let us know. I'd like to know. But you know what, guys? We're at the end.
No. Oh, no.
Already. And
sippers, if you hung in there from the beginning to the end, you are real sippers. And
we love you. Thank you.
Love you.
Yes,
thank you very much.
But man. Yeah, so I guess I will close this episode, and it was nice chatting with you ladies. I always love our talks and how we converse and what we talk about, because it's actually enlightening. And I like when our opinions are not the same. I like when our opinions are not the same. That makes it more interesting. All right, well, until next time, sippers, we'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye,